Have you ever felt like you're just stuck on repeat, like you're living the same day over and over again? Well, according to neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza, you're not just imagining it. We're going to dive into the powerful, invisible programs that are running our lives, and more importantly, how we can finally take back the controls. So take a look at this number, 95%. Let that sink in for a second. What do you think this represents? Well, it's not a grade on a test. It's the percentage of you that, by about age 35, is running completely on autopilot. Okay, let's really unpack this, because it's a huge idea. By the time you hit your mid-30s, almost all of who you are, your personality, your choices, your emotional freakouts, it's all just a pre-installed program. So while that tiny little 5% of your conscious mind is saying, hey, I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, the other 95%, your subconscious body, is often running a completely different show. So what does this subconscious program actually look like in real life? I mean, it's not some abstract code floating around. It shows up in the predictable, almost invisible routines we do every single day. And it usually starts the second we open our eyes. Does this look even a little bit familiar? You wake up, you grab your phone, and bam, you're instantly connected to everything known in your life. You go through the exact same motions, see the same people who push the exact same emotional buttons. You've basically given up your free will to a program before you've even had breakfast. And here is where it gets really interesting. This is the feedback loop that keeps us stuck. It starts with the same thought, usually about our problems, which are just memories from the past. That thought leads to the same choice, which leads to the same behavior. That behavior creates the same experience, which, you guessed it, triggers the exact same emotion. And that emotion just reinforces the original thought. It's a perfect, self-contained loop. And that is the very definition of a habit. See, it's not just an action, like biting your nails. A habit is this whole package deal, a redundant cycle of thoughts, actions, and feelings that you've practiced so many times, it's become completely automatic. It's you on autopilot. Okay, so if we're just running on a program, why is it so ridiculously hard to just change it? Well, the reason it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle is because you are. After years and years of repetition, your body has literally become the mind. And this lays out the conflict perfectly. You've got your little 5% conscious mind going, let's create a new future, let's be abundant. But your body, the other 95%, has been conditioned for years to feel guilt or anxiety or unworthiness. It doesn't want a new future. It craves the familiar chemical hit of your past. It's a genuine war between what you think and what you feel. So the second you decide, you know what, today I am not going to make that same choice, your whole system just sounds the alarm. That feeling of discomfort, that awkwardness, that's not a sign you're failing. It's the opposite. It's a sign that you're actually stepping out of the familiar past and into the unknown. And oh, the body is clever. It starts whispering these things in your ear. Come on, just start tomorrow. This just doesn't feel right. You have to recognize these thoughts for what they are. They're not the truth. They are the withdrawal symptoms of a body that's addicted to the emotions of your past. And here's why that's so critical. An emotional reaction that just hangs around isn't harmless. If you hold on to an emotion for a few hours or days, it's called mood. You keep that same feeling going for weeks or months, well, now it's your temperament. And if you keep that exact same emotional reaction going for years on end, it literally becomes a core part of your personality. Okay, so that's the problem. We're hardwired to our past. We're stuck in these loops. But here's the turning point. The same biological machinery that got us into this mess is the exact same key to getting us out. It all comes down to how we decide to use our brain. We really only have two choices. If you're not being defined by a clear vision of your future, you will, by default, be left with the dusty old memories of your past. You can let your brain be a record player, stuck on the same old song, guaranteeing a predictable life. Or you can use it as a map to a brand new destination. This right here, this is the secret sauce. This is the scientific principle that makes all of this possible. Let that really sink in. When you are truly present and you are imagining a future event with all your focus, your brain begins to physically change its wiring as if the event has already happened. This is what we call mental rehearsal. And it's not just wishful thinking or daydreaming, it's the focused act of installing the neurological hardware for your new future. You are literally building the brain of your future self before you've even taken a single physical step. Pretty cool, right? So you've started to rewire the brain. Awesome. But now comes the final and, let's be honest, the hardest part of this whole thing, getting your body to follow the mind's new map. And this is the key. This is where the real work is. You can have the most beautiful vision in your mind, but if your body is still anchored in the feelings of the past, if it still feels unworthy or anxious, it's going to pull you right back every time. The challenge is to generate the elevated feeling of your future right now. This is the ultimate instruction. You can't just think your way into a new reality. Your emotional state has to get there first. You have to teach your body to feel so good, so abundant, so free that the emotions of your past just seem like a distant memory. I love this analogy of tending a garden. To plant a new future, you've got to clear out the old stuff first. You have to pull out the weeds of your old habits. You have to remove the rocks of your emotional blocks. And then, once the ground is clear, you can plant the new seeds. You can fire and wire those new thoughts into place. You know, it's a scientific fact that the hormones of stress, which can be turned on by thought alone, can actually create disease over time. When you're constantly thinking about your problems, you're putting your body into a constant state of emergency, and no living thing can survive in emergency mode for that long. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly empowering question. If our thoughts have the power to create stress and disease, then isn't it also possible that they have the power to create health and well-being? The science says absolutely yes. So the only question left is, what will you choose to create?